Hi guys, today I would like to show you how to make a beautiful rabbit purse for a little girl. You will need the crochet hook 6 millimeters, and then one button, two safety toy eyes and small piece of ribbon. I will use the two strands of yarn, and now we need to start by making a slip knot and then chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Now into the second chain from our hook we need to work 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then for the rest of our chains we need to work 1 single crochet until we will have the last one stitch, the last one chain. Okay, now I've got the last one, and into the last one chain we need to make 3 single crochets in one chain. So 1, 2 and 3. Now we need to turn our work because we will work in rounds. So we need to go to our first stitch just here, and into the next 10 chains we need to work 1 single crochet. 1, 2. So make the single crochets in every one chain for the next 10. When we've done our 10 single crochets, we need to make the last one, the 11th one, into the same stitch as we start making our first single crochet. Okay, so now starting with counting our first single crochet all the way around, we're supposed to have 26 single crochets in total. Now we need to use our marker because we not will be joining in. We need to work in rounds, so we need to make sure where we will finish in our rounds. So I put my stitch marker at the last one single crochet, and now we need to at the moment start working next round number 2. Into the first 2 single crochets we need to work 2 single crochets in every one stitch. So go to the first single crochet and we need to make 2 single crochet into the same stitch, 1 and 2, and into the next one, 1 and 2. So now into the next 10 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet in every one stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now into the next 3 single crochets we need to work 2 in 1 stitch. So 1 and second into the same stitch, we need to go to the next one, 1 and 2, and we need to go to the next one, 1 and 2. Now again we need to work 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. So do the next 10 stitches with only 1 single crochet. Okay, and now we need to remove our marker, and into that 1 stitch, the last 1 stitch, we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. 1 and 2, and we need to put our marker into the last 1 stitch. Okay, now we need to start round number 3, and now into the first single crochet we need to work 2 single crochets. Oh, actually at the end of round number 2 you're supposed to have 32 stitches in total. And now 2 single crochets into the second stitch, 1 single crochet, and then into the third stitch again 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Now we need to make 1 single crochet into the next 11 stitches. Into our 12th stitch we need to work 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2 into the same stitch, then into the next one only 1 single crochet, into the next one 2, 1 and 2, into the next one 1, and then one more time 2 single crochets into the 1 stitch, 1 and 2. Okay, and now again we need to start working with 1 single crochet in every 1 stitch, for the next 11 stitches. At the end of our row you're supposed to have 2 stitches left, so into the next one we need to work 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and then we need to take our marker off, and then into the last one 1 single crochet. Now we need to join our row to the first single crochet, but into the back loop only, not to the whole stitch, into the only back loop. So slip stitch, and now we need to make 2 single crochets into the same loop, 1 and 2, and whole row we will be working on the back loops. So to the next one back loop we need to work 1 single crochet, then into the next one 2 single crochets, and again into the next one 1, and into the next one 2. At the end of row number 3 we're supposed to have 38 stitches, and now in that one row when we will finish we will have 46. So now when we finish the 2 single crochet in 1 stitch we need to work 1 single crochet in back loop only for the next 12 stitches. We've done our 12 single crochet. Into the next one stitch, into the next one back loop only, we need to work 2 single crochets in one loop. Then 3 times we need to work 1 single crochet, and then into the next one 2 single crochet, and again into the next one stitch 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets in one loop, and one more time 1 single crochet into the next one, and then 2 single crochet in one loop. Now for the next 12 stitches again we need to work 1 single crochet in every one stitch. And again we're supposed to have the last 2 stitches left, and then you've got our joining stitch. We are not counting the joining stitch. So into the first one we need to work 2 single crochets in one in one loop, no stitch. Into the back loop 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and into the last one we need to make 1 single crochet, and then into our first single crochet we need to make a slip stitch working into the whole stitch, so both loops. Okay, so as I said before, we're supposed to have 46 stitches. Now in every one stitch we need to make chain 1, and in every one stitch we need to work 1 single crochet all the way around. So again at the end of that row we need to have the same number of stitches, 46. Okay, so I am at the end of our row number 5. So again, that last one stitch is our joining stitch, so we are not counting that stitch, and we need to make again the slip stitch into our first single crochet. Okay, so row number 5 is done. Now we need to start working in the rounds without joining, so we will need again our marker stitch. So into the next one row again we need to work 1 single crochet in every one stitch. So we need to start working into the same stitch. Chain 1, it will be counted as our first single crochet, and then we need to put our marker stitch just here to make sure that we are into the first one stitch. All the way around we need to work 1 single crochet. So again at the end of our row we need to have 46 stitches in total. And again, because we've done the slip stitch on the last one row, I've got the slip stitch stitch left, so we need to skip that stitch and we need to make the first single crochet into our single crochet. So we are not making a slip stitch anymore. We need to make the slip stitch into a single crochet into our first single crochet. And now after when you've done the first single crochet, put your marker to not forget where you start your row. So now we need to start our row number 6, and for the next 22 rows we need to work in at the same way. We are not making the slip stitch, we just making the single crochet into our first single crochet, and then all the way around one single crochet in every one stitch. So repeat that pattern for the next 22 rows, and so at the end of our work we're supposed to have 27 rows in total. And at the end of every one row again we're supposed to have 46 stitches. So our last one single crochet, we need to make exactly into the last one stitch. I put the stitch marker into our first stitch when we begin our row, and now we need to start the next one row by making the single crochet into the first single crochet, and then again we need to put our stitch marker into our first single crochet. So in every one row we need to make exactly the same. After the first single crochet we need to put our marker stitch. I've got my 27 rows already, so now we need to make one more row, and one more time we need to mark our first single crochet. Do exactly the same as we've done before, so one single crochet in every one stitch, but this time at the end of our row we need to make a slip stitch into our first single crochet. So we need to join our row into the first single crochet, and then we will start making our purse. At the end of that row we need to leave the long tail, because we need to use them for sewing our purse onto the bottom. So what we need to do, we need to make all the way around one single crochet, now I am at the end of our row 28, and into our first single crochet, as I said, we need to make a slip stitch. Now we need to fold our purse like that. We need to take making the sides. So our top of our 28th row we need to have in the same line as we work in the row of 3. Now we've got 3 loops, because on the row 3 we was working only on the back loops only. Now we've got 3 loops, so top of our work we need to have in the same line as our row number 3. And when you start counting your rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so in our 17th row supposed to be on the top. Now we've got some space here. We can put into our space some toy stuff. So our toy stuff make our purse a little bit stronger. Not much, just a little bit. And now we need to back to our slip stitch. Now we need to work on 2 sides, so we need to start working we need to put our hook yarn into the free loop only, and then we need to grab a yarn, and then again we need to go to the next one stitch, put our hook into the free loop and grab the yarn. Now I am at the end of my row, so we need to take our stitch marker, and now into the next stitch we need to make the slip stitch, and then we need to fasten off. So now when we finish the rows, we need to fold our work, so we need to put our top of our work on the same row as we've done the work on the back loops only. So actually now we've got 3 loops left, and now when you start counting your rows from the bottom of our work, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So our 17th row supposed to be on the top of our purse. Okay, so now we can put our toy stuffing inside if you want. Just a little bit, not much. Okay, and we need to sew our work together. So this time we will be using our stitches from the single crochet and then the 1 loop what left from the 3rd row. Okay, so we need to join with a yarn, and then in every one stitch, by making a slip stitch, we need to connect two sides together. So all the way around, in every one stitch, you need to make a slip stitch. Okay, as you can see, on the row number 3 we had 8 stitches less than we've got into the last one row. So sometimes when we will be making a slip stitch, you can see that our stitches doesn't match with the others here. So then we need to put our hook into the next one stitch from the last one row, but into the same stitch as we've done before in our row number 3. So in this way, when we will be working in this way, our stitches will be matched together. So you can easily see how your work looks like, and then sometimes just put your crochet hook into the same stitch. Done making our slip stitch all the way around. We need to cut our yarn fast enough and then cut our yarn, and we need to turn our work into our right side. And first part of our little purse we actually done. Now we need to start working on our flap. So we need to make a magic ring. So we are making the big loop. Then we need to make the small loop into our big loop, and then chain of 1. Now into our big loop we need to make 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We can pull our tail a little bit, and now into our first single crochet we need to make a slip stitch. Then we are making the chain of 1, that will be our first single crochet, and into the same stitch we need to work 1 more single crochet, and all the way around in every one stitch we need to work 2 single crochets. So at the end of that row we supposed to have 12 single crochets. At the end of our round number 2 we need to make the slip stitch into our first stitch. Now we need to make chain 1, that will be again our first stitch, and then we need to make the single crochet to the next one stitch, then chain of 2, 1 and 2. We need to skip our 2 next stitches, 1 and 2. Into the third one we need to work 1 single crochet, and then into the next 3 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet in every one stitch, so in every 3 stitches. Then again chain of 2, 1 and 2. We need to skip the next one, the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and into the third we need to make the single crochet, and then 1 more into the next we need to work 1 single crochet, and then slip stitch into our first single crochet. So when we will fold our work, at the moment we made the buttonholes. Okay, so now we need to go to the next one stitch, and we need to make the single crochet, and now we need to work in every one stitch and in every one chain. So we need to make when you've done your first single crochet, just mark that is the beginning of our row. So into the next 3 stitches, so the next 2 stitches into the first one chain, we need to work 1 single crochet. Then into our second chain, we need to work 2 single crochets in that one chain. 1 and 2, and now into the next one chain we need to work 1 single crochet. Then into the next 2 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet. Into the third one stitch we need to work 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, 1 and 2. Then to the next 3 chains we need to work 1 single crochet, and then into the next 2 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet. So at the moment we're supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 stitches together. As you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. So now we need to make a slip stitch into our first single crochet. On row number 5 we need to work single crochet into the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, and maybe again we will mark the first one, 2, 3 and 4, and then into the 5th we need to work 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. And now we need to repeat that pattern all the way around. So 4 into the next 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then into the 5th we need to work 2. So at the end of our work we need to have 18 stitches in total. On row number 6, into the next 2 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet. So after first one we need to mark our row. So 1 and 2 stitches with 1 single crochet, and then into the third one we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. And again, next 2 stitches 1 single crochet, into the third one 2 single crochets, and again we need to repeat that pattern all the way around, and at the end we're supposed to have 24 stitches in total. In row number 7 we need to work single crochet for the next 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. Then into the fourth one we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and again next 3 stitches 1, 2 and 3 with 1 single crochet. Into the fourth one we need to work 2. So at the end of that row we're supposed to have 30 stitches in total, and then for the next 7 rows, so from the row 8 to 16, we need to work 1 single crochet all the way around. So repeat our pattern in that one row, 3 stitches with 1 single crochet, and then into the fourth 2 single crochets, and then next 7 rows with 1 single crochet in every one stitch all the way around. On our 16 rows, now we need to repeat one more row with a single crochet all the way around, and then at the end of that row we need to make a slip stitch into our first single crochet, fasten off and cut our yarn. So in total we're supposed to have 17 rows and our flap will be done. My flap is already done, so now we can leave it for later, and now we need to start working on our handle. We need to make 2 of them, so at the moment I will show you how to make the first one. We need to again start with making a magic ring and then small loop and chain 1. Now into our big loop we need to work 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and now we need to make the single crochet into our first single crochet. Now this stitch we need to mark because we will work in the rounds, so we need to know where is the beginning of our row, and into the next 5 single crochets we need to work 1 single crochet all the way around. So now we've done 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we've done 2 rows at the moment, and by making our single crochet all the way around this way we need to make 49 more rows. So at the end of our work we're supposed to have 51 rows together. So repeat that pattern, make the single crochet into our next single crochet, then put your marker stitch into the first stitch, and then into the next 5 single crochet, work 1 single crochet all the way around. Okay, so when we've done our handles, we need to sew all things together. So now you can fold your purse a little bit, and now you can find that where is your center of the top of the purse. You need to count the rows from the bottom, and we will sew in our flap into the 17th row, so we need to start from that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and here we've got our 17 rows. So when you start counting your stitches in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 6th stitch, we need to start sewing our flap. So the best way is using your yarn needle, and then sew your flap all the way around. So we need to work on the 2 stitches from our flap and 1 more from the row 17. Okay, so working this way, we need to sew whole flap all the way across, and then I will show you how we need to sew the handle. I sew my flap already, and I sew the button too. The button I sew into the next row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. That will be the 9th row. And now we need to sew our handle. So our handle we need to connect to the same 17th row, so we can make exactly the same. We need to work through 2 stitches of our handle and then into the 17th row from our main work, from our purse. Now we need to finish then. And now we need to start into the other side. Making exactly the same. And then sew the second one in exactly the same stitches as we've done on that one side. So we need to make into the other side the same. I sew my 2 handles together, so now we can start working on our head. So we need to start with making a magic ring again. And into our magic ring we need to make 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we can pull our tail a little bit, and then we need to make 2 single crochets into our first stitch, into our first single crochet, and then all the way around. So at the end of that row we're supposed to have 12 single crochets. One and two. One the last one stitch left, 1, and so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and now we need to start the next one row. So now we need to make 1 single crochet, and then into the next we need to start making 2 single crochets, and then again 1 single crochet, into the next stitch 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So we need to repeat that pattern all the way around, and at the end of our row we're supposed to have 18 stitches. Now we need to start round number 4, so now better prepare your stitch marker, and then we need to work first single crochet, and we need to mark our first single crochet, then we need to make another stitch with 1 single crochet, and then into our third one stitch we need to work 2 single crochets, and again next 2 stitches with 1 single crochet, and then into the third one we need to work 2, 1 and 2, and again next 2 stitches with 1 single crochet, and to the next one we need to work 2. So this time at the end of that one row we're supposed to have 24 single crochets. Row number 5, we need to take our stitch marker, make the first single crochet, and now we need to put our marker back, and now into the next 2 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet, and then into our 4th stitch we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and again next 3 stitches we need to work 1 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and then into our 4th stitch we need to work 2 single crochets. And now we need to repeat that pattern all the way around. At the end of that one row we're supposed to have 30 stitches. Row number 6, so now this time we need to work single crochet in our first 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. I lost my stitch marker, 1, 2, 3 and 4, so that will be my first, and then into the 5th stitch we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and again next 4 stitches with only 1 single crochet in every 1 stitch, 2, 3 and 4, and into the 5th stitch we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and now we need to repeat that pattern all the way around, and at the end we're supposed to have 36 stitches. Row number 7, and again we need to make first 1 stitch and put our marker stitch, and now we need to work single crochet into the first 5 stitches, so that is my second, third, 4th and 5th, and now into the 6th one we need to work 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and again 5 stitches with 1 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and into the 6th 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and again we need to repeat that pattern all the way around. At the end of that one row we're supposed to have 42 stitches. Into the row number 8 we need to work single crochet into the first 6 stitches. So I done my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Into the 7th we need to work 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and then again 6 stitches with only 1 single crochet in every one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Into the 7th we need to work 2. At the end of that row we're supposed to have 48 stitches. When we finish that one row we need to make the next 2 rows, but with only 1 single crochet in every 1 stitch. So repeat that row with making 6 single crochet, and then into the 7th 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and then next 2 rows 1 single crochet in every 1 stitch. So at the end of every row we need to have 48 stitches. Okay, I've done my 2 rows with single crochet in every 1 stitch, and now for the next 3 rows we need to start making a decrease. So for the first 2 stitches we need to make 1 single crochet, and now into our next 2 stitches we need to make a decrease. So what we need to do, we need to put our crochet hook into the stitch, yarn over. Now we are not making a single crochet, we need to put our crochet hook into the next 1 stitch, then yarn over, and now we need to pull our crochet hook for all those 3 loops, and again single crochet in next 2 stitches, and then into the next 2 we need to make a decrease. So when we've got 3 loops on our hook we need to make a stitch, and again 1 single crochet, second single crochet, and then into the next 2 stitches decrease. And now we need to repeat that pattern all the way around, and at the end of that one row we're supposed to have 36 stitches. In row number 12 we need to make a single crochet into our first stitch, and then into the next 2 stitches we need to make a decrease. So into the next 2, and then again 1 stitch with single crochet. Into the next 2 we need to make a decrease, and again 1 stitch with single crochet, and then into the next 2 we need to make a decrease. And now we need to repeat that pattern all the way around, and at the end of that one row we're supposed to have 24 stitches. And now the last one row, so all the way around we need to work decrease. So into the first 2 stitches we need to make the first decrease. I just mark last one, and then we go into the next 2 and we need to make a decrease again, and again we need to go to the next 2 and we need to make a decrease. So at the end that row we need supposed to have 12 stitches. So at the end of that one row we need to make a slip stitch into our next stitch. We need to fasten off and cut our yarn. So at the moment of what we've done the main parts of our purse. Now we need to start working on the details. Okay, at the moment we can leave it for later. Later on we need to put the toy stuffing inside.